This week on the Digital Coffee, soon you're going to be able to get a yellow check mark, verification check mark for your Twitter business account, but only if you pay. Meta gets better at creating copyright compliant AI assets that you are going to be able to use in your ads. And Google Analytics 4 finally gets better for e-commerce. All that and more after this. Good morning, and welcome to the Digital Coffee. This is your weekly dose of digital marketing and social media news for small business. My name is Amanda Webb, and I am an ROI consultant, trainer, and mentor. What does that mean? What does that even mean? That means that I help businesses just like yours get more profit, more sales, more money from the time, the effort, and the cash that you spend on your marketing. But enough about me. Well, almost enough about me. I've realized that I've started the show with my windows all a muck. I'm just going to move stuff around before we start, otherwise I won't be able to see your comments. Speaking of which, if you're on LinkedIn, do say hello. Last week, for some reason, I didn't get LinkedIn comments in the stream, but if you are replying, I will come and see what you've said later on. I would like to know, firstly, what are you drinking? We're having the digital coffee together. Sadly, there's only digital coffee in my mug, not real coffee. But that's because I'm not allowed. As you will know, if you are a regular viewer, I talk fast, but I talk way too fast once I've had coffee. So I'm only allowed coffee once we finish. I'd love to know what you've got. I did also have a question of the week. I want to know, those, on Twitter now, you can see publicly underneath every tweet how many views it's had. Are you a fan of that? Do you like it? So say yay. Or do you hate it? Say nay. I'd love to know. And if you are watching, let me know where you're watching. So if you're on LinkedIn, say hi. I can see there's some people here. If you're watching on Facebook, say hi. If you're watching on Twitter, I can't see the comments on Twitter. But do say hi, because I'll drop in afterwards onto Twitter. And if you're on YouTube, say hi. Before we move on, I do have something new to tell you about. We are pre-launch into this, which I'm calling Analytics Ace. So for any of you out there that want to make more money from your business, it all starts with analytics. So if you want to know more about that, I've just launched, or I'm about to launch, I've launched a wait list for a 6-week group program that will talk about Google Analytics, but it's going to simplify the whole thing. We're going to go through, we're going to look at what you need to see and how you find out the information you need to see. And then we're going to look at other analytics and put it all together in a simple dashboard that you can look at every week, every month, to see how well you're doing against your goals. So if you want to know more about that, you can scan that QR code or go to spiderworking.com Coffee Ace. So do drop over, join the wait list, because there is special pricing for anyone that joins the first cohort there. Good morning to Katie, who I can see is over on Facebook. Apologies if you are commenting on LinkedIn. I couldn't believe when I went over to LinkedIn last week and you were all commenting away, I wasn't shown those comments. So we'll see what happens today. Happy New Year, Katie. Great to see you here. Thanks for joining. And you're drinking Pucker herbal tea. I save my Pucker herbal teas for the evening, for when I shouldn't be having caffeine, but they are very tasty. So I hope you're enjoying that. Okay, enough of this nonsense, Amanda. Let's get on with the news.
Hi, I'm Carol Phillips from Laguna Beach, California, and I'm here watching Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb. Hi.
Does having a verification tag on any social network make your business more trustworthy? And if it does, do you think if you have to pay for that tag, actually that still makes it trustworthy, or does that make it less trustworthy? Well, we know Twitter rolled out Twitter Blue, which means that accounts can pay for their verification check. And they also rolled out some different colored check marks for different sorts of accounts. And this week they opened up a waiting list to get a yellow verification check. Now, these are the ones that are given to businesses and organizations. So you can sign up right now. Ooh, well, that's a good link to follow, but that's not it. You can sign up right now to join that wait list if you have a business account. And when you get that, if you get that, you are going to have to pay for it. They haven't announced what the pricing is going to be yet. You will get your yellow verification check, and you will also be able to associate other accounts with your business account. So you'll be able to say, these people work for me. And it seems, although it hasn't been completely confirmed, that those people get a little blue Twitter mark next to them, not a check mark, like a little Twitter bird. There are going to be other features, but as yet, they haven't disclosed them yet. This is basically Twitter blue for business. Are they going to call it Twitter yellow? I've done it again, which would be weird if they called it Twitter yellow. So the big question is, will people pay for it? And will people trust the businesses that have that yellow check mark knowing they've paid for it? Part of me says yes, and part of me says if you are gambling on Twitter as one of your channels into the future, this is going to be well worth investing in if you are using a business account. Now, as yet, I've been unable to sign up for Twitter Blue for my personal account. So I'm wondering, will this be rolled out to Ireland? Will they let me have this if I switch to a business account? I'm not sure it's necessary for small businesses, because small businesses tend to build relationships better than the larger businesses. But I do think if you are a larger business, you're probably going to want to say, yeah, this is actually me. I can see we've got some other people, still nobody from LinkedIn. And I'm just assuming you're watching and commenting. Please do, because I love seeing your comments. I'm just not seeing them here. I'll have to get onto Ecamm and see why that might be. So good morning to Joanne. Great to see you here, Joanne. And to Timolin, am I saying your name right? Great to have you here. Thank you for joining me on YouTube. Great to see you here. Tons more news. I tell you what, I almost want to call this the Twitter edition, because there is so much Twitter news at the moment. It's almost like if the other networks are doing anything, they are hiding it. They're hiding it. This is a really good time for you to launch a really bad update, because everyone is just talking about Twitter.
I'm Esther.
And I'm Melanie.
From the Monday Morning Marketing Podcast.
And you're watching The Digital Coffee
with Amanda Webb.
It's not all about Twitter. There is stuff happening elsewhere. And if you are connected to a lot of marketers anywhere, you will know that that AI, ChatGPT, which we did talk about before Christmas, and we had a few comments on last week, has blown up. And it's blown up because it's such a good tool compared to any AI that any of us have used before. It's fantastic. But because it's being so well used and other AI tools have really exploded over the last few months, there are concerns about copyright. So it's really interesting what Meta have done this week. Meta have purchased copyright access to Shutterstock images. So Shutterstock, you may be aware of. When I say images, it's not just images, actually, it's all assets. So they do images, they do videos, they do sound effects. So Shutterstock was initially a big stock photo site, and then it started adding other assets. So they bought access to this library, not just for people like me and you to use when we create ads, which has always been something, but in order to train their AI. What does that mean? That means this is the library that their robots are going to look at when they create images. This is where they're going to take their inspiration. And because they bought the copyright for this, it's not going to be an issue. So for you and me, we are going to be able to create these AI assets within Meta ads and create something truly unique, rather than relying on those standard stock photos of people pointing at things that we see so often in ads. I think this is huge because it's the first time that a big company has addressed the copyright issues that are coming up. I mean, there's going to be, I think, the first court case I'm sure it's called something more technical than that, coming up to address these issues soon. And it is an issue that will need to be resolved if people continue to use AI in the way that they are at the moment. I can see we've got Deirdre over on YouTube. Hot water in a cup. Well, you know what? Deirdre's in Ireland like I am. In fact, I think Joanne's in Ireland like I am as well. It is freaking cold, isn't it? It actually gets colder as the morning goes on. You'd think it was coldest when you get up, like if you get up at 6 like me. You'd think that was the coldest time of the day. No, now it is frigging freezing. I can't wait to put my jumper on. So I can understand you having hot water. I am going like through tea like a, I don't know, somebody who goes through a lot of tea. Can't think of a good analogy right now. Joanne, yes, it is so cold. It is so cold, and it's not even as cold as it was before Christmas, but somehow it hurts even more now, doesn't it?
Hello, this is Nicole from Wonderstars, and you are watching Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
If you are an e-commerce business, you may have been frustrated with Google Analytics 4 because although it shows you some information, maybe it wasn't showing you all the information that you wanted it to. But they've just made a massive update allowing you to see so much more about your e-commerce site, how it's performing, down to like, individual product information, how many of individual products are bought, what sort of income are they bringing in. There's just so much. Let me show you. I have to find the right, bear with me. There we go. I can't see anymore. One day I'll wear my glasses during the show all the way. Here we go. This is the list of new things that you can do in Google Analytics 4. And the benefit of this is, I think Google Analytics works best for e-commerce stores because you're not just getting a lead that you need to convert to a sale. You can see everything that is going on and what's converting to sales there. And now you're going to be able to see even more, which is going to help you optimize your site. And really, this needed to happen before July the 1st, which is the day that Universal Analytics will stop collecting data. So if you haven't got Google Analytics 4 installed yet, do. This can only be good news. And just a reminder of my course that I have coming up. It's a 6-week group training program on not just Google Analytics 4, but of course we're going to delve into that, but all the analytics that you need, help you decide what metrics you need to measure to know if your business is successful. End of commercial. What is happening next? I've forgotten which buttons I've clicked, so excuse me if this is a double.
Hi, Sasha Lydia from Think Outside the Bot, and you're watching the Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
Let's talk about public tweet counts, views. Let's talk, she says it again, let's talk about public Twitter view counts. I got all the words the right way around that time. Did you notice? This happened over Christmas. Over Christmas, all of a sudden, I opened up Twitter one day and there they were. Underneath each tweet, I could see exactly how many views each one had had. It was clunky. People hated it, firstly, because it was clunky and it made the tweets bigger and the lineup wasn't great. Secondly, I know Elon Musk thought that if he showed people public Twitter tweet reach, one, they'd notice that people who had Twitter blue check marks got more views, and secondly, they might be encouraged to tweet more or improve the quality of their tweets in order to get more going. But no, Elon, I don't think that's what happened at all. I think what happened is people got that shame, the shame that they used to get on Instagram before you could hide your public like counts. They'd see that everyone else was getting massive reach and they'd see that maybe their tweets weren't getting as many views as others. Why is that? What even is a view? So I think what it had was it made people more cautious of posting because they didn't want a tweet to turn up and get a low view count. In fact, lots of things that used to happen on Instagram is if they only got a few likes, they would delete it. This can't be good. I am not a fan of this. I hate it. Yeah, that's a strong word. I hate it. I think it is... I am all about my analytics. I can see how many views my tweets get. I don't need everyone else in the world to get it. He did say Mr. Musk did say that he was going to give you the option to switch them off, but that is not there yet. I got excited because this week they said they were making an update to tweet counts, but here it is. It's still there. You can't switch it off. They've just moved where you can see it. What do you think? Public tweet counts, good or bad? I guess it could be good if you want to work with influencers or creators, but they could still have the option to switch it on. You'd know that their tweets actually reach people. It's not about the number of followers. I mean, it could be helpful from that point of view, but yeah, not a fan. So what do you think? Public tweet counts, good or bad? They're bad, they're bad, they're bad.
This is Making Sang, first name Making, from the FOMO Creator, and you have been watching The Digital Coffee Show with Amanda Webb.
Managing social media is like a bazillion times easier when you use a social media management tool. I think you all know I use Agora Pulse. But something happened on Twitter this week because there were specific tools that you could use to access Twitter, particularly apps that made the experience different in a way that people enjoyed. And what happened was suddenly they all broke. They all stopped working. Initially, they thought that this was a glitch with the API, and API is the thing that connects, say, Twitter to the third-party tool that makes the bridge between them. They thought there was a glitch there, but no, it turns out it was deliberate. It turns out that Twitter has banned Tweetbot, or suspended, maybe not banned, Tweetbot, Twitterific, and Echophon, and others from accessing the API. Now, these were all apps you could use on your phone, although I do remember having a Mac version of one of those back in the old days. Why have they done this? Well, I suppose really what Elon Musk would like people to do is go to Twitter, because when they go to Twitter, they engage with it. He has control, and they engage with it the way that he wants them to. And I know obviously I'm not a fan of Elon Musk's Twitter. I'm kind of up and down about how I feel about Elon Musk, but I'm not a fan of what he's doing with Twitter. But it isn't the first time that this has happened. In fact, in the past, before Elon Musk had anything to do with it, Twitter did cut off the API to lots of tools that a lot of people relied on. And that was a lot of people that went out of business immediately because Twitter cut them off. I mean, if you were going to do this, would you not tell them, and give them a bit of notice so they get a chance to reevaluate their business plan? Yeah, not a fan. Anyway, you can see Timmerlin talking about the Twitter, the public impression view count. Not so good. No. I mean, does anyone actually like it? Do you like it? Do tell me if you like it. If you're on LinkedIn, tell me you liked it. I just can't see your comment. I'll have to find out why I can't see your comments. Boo.
Hi, I'm Danielle from Red Bow, and you're watching The Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
It's not all bad on Twitter. There is a positive update, possibly a positive update this week, because have you ever gone into Twitter search and searched for something and maybe spelt it wrong, or searched for a username because they are spelled all sorts of ways and they have underscores and all sorts going on? Have you ever done that? And it just takes you literally. It doesn't try and guess what you're trying to type in. It doesn't come up with suggestions like Google does. I mean, in Google, you can just type in gobbledygook and it makes a really good guess at what you were trying to say. But Twitter isn't the same. And that makes it a little bit harder to use, particularly if you're looking for a trending topic or something that's happening right now, or, as I said, a username. But it looks like this might change, because Elon Musk has said, and we'll get into how strongly he said this shortly, that he would like to fix Twitter search so that if you make a typo, if you're not quite sure how to spell something, it still works. Now, when I said he said he's going to do it, it was basically a one-word tweet. A one-word tweet saying yes under somebody who suggested it on Twitter. So is this actually really going to happen, or was he just having a moment of ecstatic joy at the whole idea of these things? If it does happen, I'll be delighted, because I think this is something a lot of the social networks could catch up with Google on. What do you think? Would it be good? What do you think?
I'm Ant McGinley, and you're watching The Digital Coffee with Amanda Webb.
Now, you know, when you go and add a emoji to maybe a social media post or maybe to an email or a blog post, wherever you're using emojis, there are certain emojis that you would just love to be able to flip. For example, maybe you want to use the running emoji, and the running emoji doesn't run that way, it actually runs this way, I think. You may wish to flip that so that it actually works with your text better, so that you can see that, so it's running towards your text instead of away, or the other way around. That is going to happen with the new emoji update that is coming in 2023. In fact, it's not just running, it's all those emojis that could go one direction or another. You are going to be able to change or choose the direction that you want the emoji to go in. But also, they're launching some new emojis. These aren't necessarily them. These are the ones that are in the running. So we've got a lime, we've got a non-poisonous mushroom, which I suppose is good if you're talking about cooking. I love the phoenix at the end, the broken link. Maybe you want to tell someone there's a broken link. The ones I'm not mad about are the other two. You know, the one next to the phoenix apparently is somebody shaking their head. But when I saw those little lines, I thought spider. I thought those were spider legs. Not a fan of that. But I think I would use the phoenix. I love the phoenix. So let's hope the phoenix gets through, and let's hope they fix that shaky head one so it looks less spider-like. I mean, I'm sure there probably is a spider emoji already. Every year they add emojis, and I like this because I think, you know, one of the things you can do for your brand is use specific emojis on a regular basis. And when you do, this is giving you far more choice. So I like the lime. I'm not sure what I'm going to use it for, but I absolutely adore the phoenix. And that is all the news for this week. I'm going to pop straight over to LinkedIn because I know you're watching there. I know you're there. I'm going to see if I can fix this issue with the comments. It's been lovely to see those of you that have joined in and those of you who have commented. So thanks, Joanne. Thanks, Katie. Thanks, Derbler. Thanks, Timolin. It's great to see you here. I will be back here, same bat time, same bat week, same bat place next week. Until then, bye-bye.